is going on, everybody? It's your boy David here from Yugioh Pulse. Today we're doing an updated Altergeist deck profile. So after the format changed from the ban list where you got Virtual World and Zodiac and Eldritch, I was like, well, I want to try something a little different, even though I have been testing those decks as well. I decided Altergeist, and it actually is pretty lit, not gonna lie. Just the fact that you're playing traps, and if VFD is the biggest problem, well, you can still play trap cards. So that's what I liked about it. Don't want to waste too much of the time in the intro. Just want to let you know that also, if you want to get this beautiful playmat that we have with stitched edging on the side, great. Just hit us up in a message, either on YouTube or on Facebook or Instagram, or leave something in the chat on Twitch. It doesn't matter. However you want to reach out to us, that would be great. But yeah, if you want to let us know, just reach out to us. We'll see how we can get you this playmat. So without further ado, we are going to start with the profile. First up, pretty normal stuff, I would say. One Kunkiri. You got the 3 Marionetters, great starter. The 3 Faker. The 2 Sequelitis. And the 3 Meluseek. So, very standard engine. I have tested playing him at 3 just because sometimes I want names. One thing about this deck is you can set a bunch of traps, but if you can't play beyond that, a lot of times that's where you lose. If you can play this engine, then normally you're in a pretty good spot. Like if you see any of your engine, you actually are usually normally where you want to be. So that's it for the monsters. I don't play hand traps in this build because after testing, I found, honestly, even if you go second, other than your impermanences, like just setting your back row and then popping or getting rid of stuff that way is still end up making your Faker alive and stuff. That's still the best way to do it. I mean, if you want to play a whole hand trap lineup, that's fine. But I just found that this engine's so small and it's hard to search it that if you do the hand trap route, it's the bricks just aren't worth it a lot of times. But don't worry, we have a lot on the side for that. Play the 1-for-1 because, as I said, a lot of people have cut this type of stuff, but if you don't see a way to play the engine, it doesn't matter how many traps you've got, you still just end up losing. 3 Extravs, mandatory, I'm sorry. It's actually not that expensive now that it got the reprint. And 2 Power Duality, I still play this because of consistency. Not all the time in this are you actually going off. So if you find where you can't play this, you're normally in a good position because you're either popping off and you don't need this, or you're not popping off and this is just a good consistency card. That is it for the spells. You don't play many, just those. Next up is the bread and butter of why you play Altergeist. Got 2 Protocol, just a good blanket protection. It's a Solemn Strike effect. I still play the 2 Manifestations. Being able to loop one of these back, being able to loop with your Silk, being able to have extra fodder that's got Altergeist in the name for either Protocol or for spoofing. It just, the consistency of it, and the 3 spoofing. Those are your, I would say, pretty standard lineup. Most people might just play 1 Manifestation, but you just want to be able to play some of your engine. Going second cards, but also is great with Faker. His impermanence, 2 Evenlies. This card has lost a lot of relevance because it just gets negated. But if you can see, because it's not once per turn, that's basically what it is. It's a hand trap that you can use from the hand for free. It's not once per turn, just like Imperm. So it's okay if you see this. It's a good way to bait and negate. We play 2 Trap Tricks and 2 Dogmatic Punishments. This card is just flat out amazing. Trap Trick, you just want to be able to see some of your cards if you want to activate them instantly. Just setting a Trap Trick and then going into an evenly match off that's not bad. But yeah, just getting the punishment you can use, which is a good 2 pops. Great, crazy card. 2 Summon Limit, strong card, going first. I wanted something that was floodgatey, but it was also consistent and like didn't hurt me as well. and this very rarely, like, if you see this before they've, like, you go first, you can actually see this. A lot of times you can just win there. So why not play cards that just let you win on the spot? Imperial Order, Drytron is a crazy deck right now. So it also stops you from getting Harpy Feathers Dustered or Lightning Stormed. And 3 Judgments, also just cards that are good that you. A lot of times it's tempting to stop the first normal summon, but honestly, I normally only use these if I'm actually hitting like the main combo piece of my opponent, or they have the Lightning Storm or the Feather Duster. That's really all. This just feels good to have. It's like protection. It's crazy. That is it for the main deck. It's around 40. Around 40 cards. Next up, we will do the extra deck. I play the one Kidolga. Totally cuttable. It's just a lot of times this comes up. The main reason I have used this is if I break a virtual world board, I will make this to get their Shin Shin so they can't keep looping him back, because that can be very annoying. So just having something that can basically a pseudo call by the grave, but also put damage on board this doesn't negate the effects of the monster. The only downside is you just need to attack with this first before you steal something, and then bam, you've got your own free monster reborn. Hextia, great card to loop with. Just a good searcher. This searches out your traps from the deck. It's a spell and trap negate, not once per turn. As long as you can get a monster underneath it, that's all it requires. I don't play Prime Banshee because honestly, I find I never go into it. Like, you never seem to be going off so much that you can get that whole play off. So honestly, tributing and stuff, you'd rather just leave monsters on the board than go into that link climbing shenanigans. So yeah. Anima, Link Revo, Amirage. I just play the 4 because there's some other stuff I wanted to play in the extra. Normally you're only extravagancing once per duel a lot of the times. There is sometimes you go up, but like a lot of times you're just getting the 1 extrav. So chances are you're not hitting all these. But yeah, this is what I go with. You can play the 3 Link Revo. There's no reason to go out and just buy this. I honestly think no one plays into this. The amount of times I actually get to use this and to be relevant is not that much. People have basically learned to play around Anima. So that can be any slot you want. It can be another different Link 1 if you want to. I do play a small Masquerena engine. So, you know, a lot of times you got just free stuff. So if you need to clear something or you need to go for game, this is just a way to actually go for game, which is one of the weaknesses of Altergeist, is you can completely wreck their board, them have nothing, and you still can't attack with 5 monsters for game. Floral Sword and Abomination, just power, Link 4s. You don't get, obviously you can't use them all the time, but you don't want to lose a duel just because you don't have at least an option. So yeah, you never want to just lose a duel because you're like, oh, I just chose not to play a power Link 4. So that can happen. 2 Intis, this just goes with the punishment. It's just fodder. You play 2 in case you want. You banish 1 off desires. So yeah, that's it for the extra deck. Side deck, as always say, it's up to you. It's up to your locals. It's like you want to play. It depends on what deck you're playing. You know, your engine pieces. Because I chose a heavy go first this time around, then obviously my side deck's going to be a bunch of go second cards. So, Nibiru, great card going second. Lancia, great card going second. And then what I think is the best hand trap we play, Shifter. I'm probably going to bump this up to 3 and put something else down to it, because with Dryton being everywhere, I've been watching Dueling Book and like just everybody's playing Dryton, just everybody's on it. Shifter, every time I've played this, now this is just me, but I have play tested a lot with friends. I've asked friends to play me and to like bring the best version of Dryton you could possibly bring. And every time I've gotten Shifter off, they just had to pass turn. Now, I don't claim to be a Dryton expert. I don't necessarily know all their combos, but something about this card is just, it ends their turn. So, great card. Any deck that can play this should probably play this at 3. And then just 2 Ash. It's a versatile card. This lineup can be whatever you want. I would keep Shifter, and I would maybe bump it up, and I would keep Nibiru and Lamp. So, whatever you want it to be. Duster, 2 Lightning Storm, and 2 Anti-Spell Fragrance. So that's it for the side deck. This is what I chose to play. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this profile. Please click subscribe. We're trying to get up to that magical numbers. Follow us on Twitch. I've been streaming over there a lot more. Click like. Just help us, get these numbers up. I hope you liked everything, and thank you so much for watching. Peace.